Hello, I'm Tedrick Bonds.
And I'm Tara Bonds.
And we are the founders of H.O.M.E, House of Music Education. We are excited to present to you today our virtual anti-bullying red carpet event.
Tonight, our guests will be sharing their journeys of how they turned their negative experiences with being bullied into something positive that will truly inspire and motivate others.
We started H.O.M.E in 2015 with a focus on providing a space for the youth and the community to express their creativity using the arts.
We believe that the arts and music truly have a healing power, which brings us to tonight where we have the marriage between using the arts and overcoming adversities.
So get involved during tonight's event and use the hashtag #IamHuman2.
Yes, and you can learn more about H.O.M.E at houseofmusicedu.org. And now here's our host, Mario Bonds.
Thank you, Tara and Tedrick. I am so excited tonight to be here to help celebrate the arts with both of you. And more importantly, I am so thankful that you all decided to tune in today to see what we have to offer in our coveted Standing Against Bullying. But more importantly, I am human too. This is a campaign that I believe in wholeheartedly. And I am so happy that we've been able to join with House of Music Education to show you what it means when there is a marriage between overcoming adversity and the arts. What's my personal tie to tonight? As a child, I was bullied for being blind, homeless. I was even bullied for being an articulate person. And I can tell you that I personally found the arts very healing. It was my medicine. Whether it was songwriting, whether it was literary writing, whether it was changing my voice to make funny voices, making up skits in my head, you name it. My entire family lived that story of using the arts to overcome adversity. Whether it was us moving around a lot, experiencing abuse in our family, the arts were always there as a comfort zone, a safe space, if you will. And so with that being said, we would like to highlight other people who do just that. Use the arts to overcome adversity. And you will see, as they tell their story and demonstrate their talent, how they overcame things like being bullied for how their voice sounded, being bullied for their disability, being bullied and facing adversity after a tragic life incident that left them in a unique situation. So before we kick it off, I'd like to give you some more information about the House of Music Education, the nonprofit that's putting this event on tonight. Take a look at the following clip.
Hello, I'm Tara Bonds, the co-founder of House of Music Education. Are you an artist who is seeking to express your talents or advance your career? Do you desire hands-on experience in performing arts but can't afford those expensive classes? Or have you desired private lessons but haven't found a teacher willing to meet you at your skill level? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, then House of Music Education is the perfect place for you. We offer training in vocal music, dance, piano, theater, studio engineering, and modeling for print and runway. Our staff brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to the table, and it is our mission to help you mold your craft and realize your goals. We can't wait to work with you and welcome you home.
First up, he is an incredible talent from Washington State. His name is Mac Potts. And here he is to tell his story about how he was bullied and how he's learned to set the piano on fire despite the naysayers.
as Mac Potts, and I was born completely blind. I went to public school starting at age 10, and the problems with that was the awkwardness that comes with being blind from birth. I struggled with what's called blindisms, so I had some mannerisms and some social tics, if you will, that were different from everyone else just because I was born blind and I didn't have the ability to see what was around me. And sometimes I would offend people because I would say something and not be able to read their emotions. But the reality is I did care and I did want to be able to relate to people. And over time, I started figuring out how to talk about things other people wanted to talk about other than just music and the silly stuff I liked. Sports was a big one, for example, football. But the real big kicker was later on in high school, I picked up the guitar. Now, I'm a piano player, but I think the guitar kind of helped me relate to people because I wasn't that good at it, but I was able to play songs that people really enjoyed. And so suddenly I was kind of on their level as far as just an average kid with a guitar in the hallway, and people would sing songs and gather around me, and I had an audience, and all the bullying and awkwardness went away on both ends. I wasn't as awkward. They liked me and appreciated me more. And I think the lesson that can be learned from this is that rather than singling each other out, we can find things that we agree on and stand together on, common ground, if you will. And so if you have a talent and you're able to connect with people using that, I encourage you to do so. In the music world, they would say that I'm a bad man.
My goodness, Mac, after that performance, your fingers should definitely be hurting. That was incredible. Before we go on to our next highlight, let's take a trip to the playground. Here's a video that's been furnished by the Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey, we call dibs on the climbing bars.
Yeah, no one else is allowed to play on them, just us.
Since when?
Since now. So get out of here.
Let's go, Ty. Ty, Jojo, wait, you guys are allowed to play on the climbing bars too. That's not what Lance said.
Yeah, and Alexa too.
Come on. Hey, you guys, the climbing bars belong to all of us, not just you. Oh, yeah? Who says? I say. You're being mean by not letting Ty and Jojo play. That's bullying. No, it's not.
Oh, yes it is. And Zach did a good job of recognizing it. He pointed out that it's best to share and include others.
Come on, guys. Let's all play on the bars.
Wait for me.
I'm pretty sure all of us have experienced being bullied at some point on the playground. Next, we'll go to our next highlight. Her name is Madeline Bernay. She is a trap opera singer, which is pretty unique in the sense that she blends both opera and trap music into a new genre that's called trap opera. But interestingly, she was bullied for how her singing voice sounds, but she never stopped singing.
I've always been a girl who was a little bit more heavy set. So I think naturally, sometimes when you're a kid, people may make those types of jokes. But actually, my, bullying experience really came from sometimes with my singing voice. People thought that I sounded different. They thought that I wasn't, good enough. They felt like I wasn't going to make it because I had this not normal sound.
when in turn what makes you different is your superpower, you know what I mean? And so when I actually found that, that's what actually made me be able to prevail. I also am an advocate for the arts and education, and I've worked with a lot of children, one being one that actually committed suicide because of a bullying thing. So I'm very, very serious about that. But one of the things before she passed that I used to tell her is that you are enough. I just hoped that my words would have resonated with her, but I think it was just too much. And so that is something that has always been a mission of mine, is to continue to let people know that they are enough in whatever they are choosing to do and who they are. And I just pray that everyone can kind of overcome those situations like I did and take whatever they were bullied for and make it, make it more of like a blessing. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't even think about those things anymore that people used to say, because I know that God made me different. And
I'm touched by that. I think it's very unique to be teased for singing the way you sing, but you never stopped singing until someone found it appreciating. But more importantly, it was medicine for herself. Next, how can you handle a situation when you are what individuals call plus size and you love to dance, but you're teased for it? Do you give up on dancing, or do you keep on moving?
Because I'm all about that bass, no trouble.
Represent for the women.
The big women.
I heard that.
We are a full-figure dance crew hailing from New York City, and we are who? Pretty Big!
How long you guys been a group?
3.5 years. Pretty Big Movement started because no one would give me the opportunity to book different jobs because of my size. I wanted to create a platform for full-figure women to come together. We embrace our curve,
and we can shake that thing.
Competition crazy this year.
We rehearse 3 to 4 times a week for 4 hours. I have a certain standard.
We have to kill and we gotta lighten it up.
Right. So although we like to have a good time, this is very serious to us. It's about the little girl who sees Pretty Big, and we want her to know that it doesn't matter what size you are. You can do whatever you want to do.
Because I'm all about that bass, no trouble.
Let's take a look at Akira Armstrong from Pretty Big Movement.
So what gave me the nerve to get into dance, baby, when I tell you that amazing queen, Auntie Patti LaBelle, I saw her, I had to be about maybe 6 or 7. And my mom had the Apollo playing in our living room at the time. And she was performing at the Apollo Theater. And her outlandish outfits and her hair, and she's just very bold. Although she was not a dancer, it was just her presence and how the crowd just reacted to her, and just like her just being authentic. Like, this is me, this is even if that's not how she is off stage, but the way it was presented was like it was a part of her. I was bullied because of my aesthetic, and when you're young, you don't understand the correlation of the way society puts it. You have to be thin and have this the stereotypical ballet figure and all, and I wasn't built that way, and I just couldn't understand like why I was being judged because of my weight. But the talent was there. I was confident in my talent and how I would just smoke the dance floor and you know, whatever genre was being taught to me, like I always put my all into it. And I was always in the front of dance routines, but it was always her costume had to be different. And, you know, I just didn't get it until I got a little bit older. And that kind of, you know, that was traumatic for me. That was traumatic. And I knew that eventually when I created Pretty Big Movement, that there were other women out there that either had the same plight as I did, or, you know, somewhere along those commonalities that we shared, that we just want to express ourselves. It got easier because although there were challenges along the journey where, you know, people would, you know, give me the backlash or, you know, typecast me and, you know, whatever their reasons may be. But I noticed that as long as I stayed true to who I was, eventually someone would say, hey, listen, this girl's got it. Let's give her a chance. And sometimes people need to see the visual and see what you're trying to, you know, bring to the forefront. And eventually doors started to open up because it made sense. Yeah, the first store that certified as like the stamp for me was Beyonce. I auditioned for her world tour back in and I was not privy to anything like how this whole thing is ran, like showing up and seeing people camping out because it was so many women, you know, trying to get into this building to just be seen. Her artistic director and choreographer, Frank Gatson at the time, who I love. I call him Father Frank, by the way. Love him down. He was taking maybe about 200 girls at a time. And he broke us up in zodiac signs because everybody has a birthday. I was the last girl in the last row. It had to be about 5 or 6 rows ahead of me. So in my mind, how I was thinking, I kid you not, I was like, if I'm going to be seen, I'm going to be seen standing anywhere in this room. That's how I, like, that was my mentality. And, you know, they had their whole thing set up. They wasn't like, they either told you to stay or leave. And when it came to my group, you know, he would whisper behind each girl's ear, like, you stay or you go, you stay, you go. You can always tell by the reaction and the posture once they walked away. And when he got to me, he had this pink paper. But before he made this announcement about who he was giving this pink paper to in my group, he was like, this girl is giving it in this group. She is killing it. And he kept that paper in his hand until he got to my row. And I was like, he still didn't give the paper to nobody. So when he got to the second girl before me, I said, oh God, it's for me. It's for me. When he handed me that paper, I just dropped to my knees. I never forget. And the whole room just was like, you know, because there were women in there who know me from the dance community. It was like, yeah, that was like the stamp for me. Because it was just like, you know, like I'm noticed, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like and I didn't have to change who I was. Oh my goodness, this brings me back to, you know, what I would have wanted someone to tell me, you know, being a young girl, adolescent, being plus size. What I would say to a young girl who is struggling and being body shamed for the way she looks is that, baby girl, you are beautiful. I didn't hear that enough, although I heard it, but when you don't hear from the right people, that also could be an effect, you know, on your mental and your spirit. You're beautiful no matter what. Always do your best, you know, just do your best. That's all you can do is do your best. And as long as it's fulfilling for you, then you're definitely on the way, and you're a winner. Yes. You're a winner. You know, you are a winner. And even though there are evil people and mean people out here, you know, you never have to project that same energy back to them, because what I would have loved for someone to tell me and what I would tell young girls is 9 times out of 10, baby girl, people who are body shaming you or making you feel belittled or less than or saying that you're not enough has a lot to do with who they are. It's absolutely nothing to do with you. Yeah, yes. It has nothing to do with you. And sometimes, to take it a step further and get a little bit deeper, sometimes it's something that they're lacking within themselves, but they see greatness in you, but because they want to keep you at their level and their low vibrational evil spirited behinds. They want to bring you down with them. So it's very important that mentally we massage young girls' brains to keep them intuitive that they are enough, they are winners, they are beautiful, strive to be your best, and always do your best.
Well, as you can see, being bullied for being a plus-size dancer did not stop Akira. No, she's choreographed for the likes of Beyonce, and it doesn't get any more exciting than that. Now I'd like to take you to another anti-bullying video furnished by the Department of Health and Human Services. This is regarding Milton. Milton has a unique choice for the instrument that he likes to play, the tuba. Some consider it a noisy instrument, others just didn't like the sound at all. But he was bullied for it, and how did it work out when someone else stood up for him? Take a look.
Come on, take a stand. Lend a hand. Stop bullying now.
And now, give it up for Milton Weems.
Milton, wake up, dreamy weemy. What you doing, teeny weemy? Practicing for the dorchestra?
All right, everybody. Line up for some cardiovascular.
Later, weemy weenie.
Another fun encounter with my very own torture patrol. How did I get to be so lucky?
Feel the music, Milton. Be one with the tuba. Milton, what's wrong with you today? Your playing lacks its usual passion.
Wrong? What makes you think anything is wrong?
You can't fool me, my little tip-top tubist. I can hear your frown blowing out your tuba.
Well, there's a couple of guys. They've been picking on me. Again.
Oh, that's terrible, Milton. Nobody deserves to be bullied. We'll need to look into that. In the meantime, you can't let them ruin the things you love. You love the tuba, while I love the triangle.
Hey, weemy weenie, need a hand with that tuba? A handful of mud, I mean.
Somebody wake me when the nightmare's over.
Hi, my name is Antonio Hammett. I'm an alum at Eastern Senior High School, and today I'm going to be talking about bullying, because I am not in support of bullying. Sometimes people are born with things that they can't change, or they simply have an enjoyment that their peers around them do not have. They shouldn't be made fun of the things that they love, for instance. But I love music. I have loved it since the day I was born. I have used it as an escape from real life, and it has helped me. Some people have those escapes, such as music, dance, and furthermore, but there are people who can't express that love because they've been bullied and told that they're silly or they are too feminine, or that passion that they have is not simply for a man and or woman. And that's very sad, but it's something that we can all grow past. I always like to think that if everybody's standing up for one another, who is the bully going to bully? Because it's not cool to anybody, and it's not going to be funny to anybody if everybody sees it as an issue. As an escape, like I said before, singing is an escape for me. I go to college for singing. I attend Central State University currently, and this is my last semester. I'm almost done. But had I let anyone tell me that music is something to be made fun of, or I shouldn't be doing music, then I don't think that I would be here where I am today. Today, I just want to spread that awareness. If you have a passion for something, go for it. You are human, and you should know that. The ones around you, the people around you, if they're making fun of you for your own passion, then you're not the issue, they are. Continue doing what you're doing, because your passion is going to take you far no matter what anyone says. You put in the hard work, you love what you're doing, you're going to go farther than them. But that's not the point. The point is for you to be you, no matter what anyone says. Imagine all the people living for today. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
If I could speak directly to that person, I would tell them to just ask that person that's trying to bully them a question. Would you want this to happen to you? Would you want somebody to bully your little sister or your little brother? And like I always tell the kids that I talk to that was bullied, because I just be like this. You talk to them, you just ask them a question. How are you living? Do you have your mom at home? Do you have your dad? Did you eat? I think you counter and ask them different questions, and sometimes make a change. And I noticed a lot of the kids that I talk to that are the bullier, they just don't have love at home.
Yeah.
No hugs or nothing.
Yeah, and you know, the chorus of the song, and I'm going to ask you my secondary question because it's tied into the lyrics for the song.
Okay.
It says, I am human too, and I bleed just like you. I have feelings and dreams and a heart that does beat. Sometimes I get scared and my eyes do cry tears, but you could dry my eyes if you act like I'm human and see me as human too. So it's a call directly to the bully, right?
Right.
To say, gee, if, you know, I didn't choose to be blind. I didn't choose to be black. I didn't choose to be homeless. Some of the things I was bullied for.
If I could speak directly to the bully, I would say, put yourself in my shoes. Would you want to be treated the way you're treating me? Look at yourself in the mirror when you wake up in the morning.
I'm really enjoying tonight, and I hope you have been touched by what you have seen so far. I definitely have been, and a lot of this stuff is personal. In fact, we'll get a bit more personal later on, in the sense that one of the productions that H.O.M.E helped put together was a video that depicts some of the biographical bullying that I experienced, but that's for the end of the program. Next up is Keisha Green, who in 2013 was just like you and me. But after a serious car accident left her a bilateral amputee, she lost both legs. Her life changed considerably.
Well, I'm grateful because I don't want to start with just waking up, because I actually knew that I had lost the legs before I was actually placed into a medically induced coma, because my legs were not amputated. They were severed immediately by the guardrail. So I was actually awoke when I lost my legs, and I was the first person to see that my leg was gone on that evening. So I rested assured those 2 days I knew that I did not have the limbs there. But when I woke up, it was more of like it's time to go. Because I had spent those 2 days already knowing that I did not have the legs, but God just reassured me that there was territory and a journey that came with it. Now I have disrespectful faith, meaning I know there's not anything, like literally I'm disrespectful with the power. When it ain't working, I think I'm talking to the wrong person, because I know what my father told me to do, so I might need to go talk to her over here, because you ain't talking right. Because 5 months after me coming home, I went on to the Steve Harvey show. And after I went on to the Steve Harvey show, it was like I had no choice but to step forward. People were actually like pulling me forward. They wanted to know what Not what and I hate when people ask me what happened to me, because it's not what happened to me, but it's what happened for me. So they want to know what happened for me. They're like, listen, I see that you don't have the legs, but I see something that's so more powerful over you. I feel something that comes from you, and I want to hear about it. So being a mother, being a role model, you know, that was my biggest thing. I was like, wait a minute, like I'm that mom and I don't want to stop being that mom. So for me, it meant just showing them that I still was going to be able to keep every promise that I made to them, and that God had not forgotten about us and it was not over. Celebrating last year was my 7-year anniversary. So, 7, that's the number. So I am human just means open up your mind and allow me to be fabulous, real, and true to me.
When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. When you're down and out, oh, when you're in the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you, I will, and I'll take your part. Oh, when darkness comes and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. I'm gonna lay it all down for you.
Now I'd like to pause and talk about how you can get involved with House of Music Education. First, visit us on the web at houseofmusicedu.org and click the Donate tab, where you will be presented with options to donate directly to the organization. Are you a person who's interested in the arts? Whether it's virtual or in person, we definitely have the classes and the expertise to get you along your way. I believe the arts are therapeutic, and if you're interested in that ride, we're willing to take it with you. Now I'd like to turn to the person who was the youngest person in history to have fashion included in New York Fashion Week. She was bullied for her size, bullied for the color of her skin, but yet she managed to go from being bullied to a coveted fashionista, H.O.M.E.
When I was in the first and second grade, I was being bullied within the New York City school system, and I would experience bullying on a verbal level almost every day. And then one day it turned physical, and that's when I decided to tell my mom that I was being bullied. And I would always sew as a comforting thing. So I would go to my grandma's house, and that would be our quality time, and that was just, it's so soothing to me. So I just decided to use that to create my own comfort zone and like a safe space for myself. And when I decided to tell my mom, I was like, I should create a anti-bullying company where I could go around to different schools and talk about bullying and how you can avoid it and how you should speak out on it.
What is some of the verbal abuse? What are some of the things that these people said to you?
They would call me out of my name. They would say, "You're fat, you're ugly," and stuff like that. And like as a child, that would hurt your feelings, but you don't know any better to where you're just like, well, maybe somebody hurt their feelings, so you wouldn't really pay any mind to it. There was a second that it made me feel bad, but I always had to remember that hurt people hurt people. So if they're experiencing this at home or from people their age, they're going to try to take it out on other people. My mom always just told me to never take out your feelings on other people. You should just try to talk about it. And I knew that I didn't want to take my feelings out on somebody else because that's what they were doing to me. And I didn't want anybody else to experience what I was experiencing. Well, when I tell kids my story, it leads them to see, well, she went through this, so I could probably take the bullying the same way that she did. I don't expect them to be exactly like how I am, but I do expect my journey to make an impact on how they respond to the bullying. So I was stabbed with a pencil in my side, and I had to go to the hospital. And I tried to lie and say that I fell on the pencil, which didn't really make sense, but I was young. So the doctor was like, "Are you sure that you fell on the pencil?" And then that's when I finally gave in and said that somebody stabbed me with the pencil. The biggest thing that I could have done was sharing my story. And like the biggest show that I've ever done was when I was 10, and I would did New York Fashion Week for the first time because that's what kickstarted my whole business journey. There was this one girl that messaged me on Messenger in the beginning of my designing career, and she messaged me and told me that I inspired her to start going back to school because she was being bullied so bad that her mom pulled her out of school and she just did homeschooling for a good chunk of her middle school. And she was like, "You inspired me to go back to school because I know that I am not what they say. I know who I am, and I expect them to see that too." It just shows that no matter what situation you're in, what skin color you are, what gender you identify as, you deserve respect no matter what.
That's pretty powerful. I couldn't imagine what Egypt had to go through, especially the sense that she managed to turn tragedy into triumph, and even at 15 years old, manages to have straight A's while she's doing all of these things to further anti-bullying for her demographic. That's impressive. I don't know when she sleeps, but that's impressive. Now I'm gonna step out of the way and let H.O.M.E's founder, Tedrick, speak to you one more time and have the co-founder, Tara, introduce our most coveted production to date. Something I'm quite proud of, and it will speak for itself. After that, we will have comments by Allison Seymour from WUSA 9 local TV in DC, and I look forward to participating in the Q&A as well. Tedrick?
Thank you, Mario. As we said before, House of Music Education celebrates the arts, and tonight we further celebrate the power the arts can have, helping people to overcome adversity like bullying. As an educator in the arts and music director who on a daily basis see firsthand the pain and difficulties faced by at-risk youth, trying to overcome tough home lives and ever-growing peer aggression or bullying, I deliver on my responsibility to inspire kids to dive into the arts. We are big on ensuring purpose in everything that we do. In fact, this is the reason H.O.M.E was started. We found purpose in wanting to be a one-stop shop to offer youth and young adults access to dance, acting, and singing lessons, hands-on recording and production, opportunities to act or participate in stage plays and film productions. Now, it's no secret that we believe arts can have a healing effect, and we strive to bring healing to youth and young adults. H.O.M.E was written by our host tonight, Mario Bonds, and H.O.M.E worked with a top-notch film production company, Drake Wise Productions, under the direction of Thomas Bloom, to deliver a visual call for us to see one another as human. Filmed at Eastern High School in Washington, D.C., H.O.M.E is a flagship project that illustrates our passion for bringing youth and young adults together to create purposeful art that inspires and drives home messages we all can share.
Tonight, you've heard from individuals who've shared their own stories of how they used some form of the arts to help them cope with adversity and overcoming naysayers. Now, we've come to the grand moment for you to see the culmination of H.O.M.E's work and passion for the healing effect the arts can have. It gives me great pleasure to introduce one of H.O.M.E's most influential productions to date, Human. Please enjoy, and I look forward to seeing you all in the Q&A later on in the program. Here's Human.
Dad, can I ask you a question?
Of course. What is it, baby?
Why am I so much lighter than you? I wish I was darker.
Huh? What do you mean?
A boy at my school said I'm not a real black person. I'm a mutt, and I'm a light bright, and only blacker berries get the juice.
It's not only blacker berries gets the juice, it's the blacker the berry, the sweeter. Never mind. Look, Professor, did you choose your color or your height? No. Don't let people make you feel bad for who you are, because at the end of the day, we all are human too. I mean, your dad was bullied. I was bullied for being blind, black, and...
Blind, black, and what, Dad?
I was bullied. Really, really...
So, Blackie, what's this? Brittle?
Really bad.
You got bullied at school?
Yes, I did.
How?
Forward, not backward. No, we can't afford to let love be destroyed. So close your eyes, dare to take my hand, take a seat with me, and feel I'm human and I belong here. Yes, I belong here. I am human too, and I bleed just like you. I have feelings and dreams and a heart that does beat. Sometimes I get scared and these eyes do cry tears, but you could dry my eyes if you act like I'm human. Hey, see me as human too. Black or white, woman or man, whether gay or straight, we should let love conquer hate. So close your eyes and dare to take my hand and take a seat with me and feel I'm human and I belong here. Yes, I belong here. I am human too, and I bleed just like you. I have feelings and dreams and a heart that does beat. And sometimes I get scared and these eyes do cry tears, but you could dry my eyes if you act like I'm human. Hey, I am human too, and I breathe just like you. I have feelings and things that I do want to achieve. When fear is alive, oh, these eyes, they do cry. But you could dry my eyes if you act like I'm human. Act like I'm human. Hey, see me as human too. Act like I'm human. Act like I'm human. See me as human too.
That's so beautiful. That was so
Just
just so beautiful. I'm just yeah. It's hard to watch. It's important, and it was so beautifully done, Mario. Really.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's a lot of the stuff that you saw in the video was autobiographical, and one of the things that I found a long time ago is a way to not feel sorry for myself is by being able to give back to other people. So that's I scraped up some coin and you know worked with my brother who's a teacher at Eastern's High School. And that, along with my adopted sons, that was my son at the beginning of the video. We put that together, and that's something that I'm using to, push a campaign called "I Am Human Too." And so, with that being said, I kindly ask the phrase "I am human too." How does that speak to you?
Oh man, with what we're going through in this country, they've called it the racial reckoning and all of this. For the first time, the last several years, I've really felt a level of anxiety surrounding my kids and the kind of world that they are, becoming adults in.
Yeah.
And I would just wish, I think that is the answer, Mario. I really think it's the answer. If you can look at my children, your children, no matter who you are, and see that we're all the same. We are all humans going through this experience together.
Please know that bullying and abuse is never okay. Please call 800-273-8255 where someone is standing by to talk to you. Join the I Am Human Too movement by posting about your experience and using the hashtag I Am Human Too.